Well. Welcome to Wind Waker Unflooded, the 3D modeling fan art project where we are bringing to life the land of Hyrule as it could have existed within the world and art style of The Legend of Zelda, The Wind Waker. Very excited about this video because today we're showing off a new part of the project, a new addition. I mean, as we always are, right? As we always are. Y'all know how this goes. New video comes out, new progress. But I'm very excited today because, like I've said before, there's a couple of types of additions, right? Sometimes I'm filling in the gap. Sometimes I'm creating a new area from scratch. Sometimes we're replicating areas from other games. Like there's different types of creativity that goes into Wind Waker Unflooded, right? There's different ways in which we decide how to place new areas, right? We come up with our own theories. We delve into existing theories and try to make our own conclusions. And we try really hard to make sure that this really feels like a community project. And I'm so thankful to have gotten feedback from y'all, from the audience, from comments, and those always help us decide what to work on next. And I'm also excited today to show off the work of a collaborator, DrH3mp, who has been working on Labrynna from, of course, Oracle of Ages. And so we kind of made the decision that, it's very vague in game, but it seems like there's definitely a possibility that Labrynna, while outside maybe the traditional borders of Hyrule, could still be a part of the greater Hyrule continent on the edge of the map at the edge of the coast. And so we've decided to insert Labrynna into the map, and DrH3mp has been working on 3D modeling the location. And I'm so excited to show it off because it shows this really good balance, in my opinion, of like there's parts of the map, and it's like it reminds you directly of like screens from the game. But then there's other parts of the map where you're like, oh, I can tell that this has been kind of reinterpreted and reshaped, right, to fit within like the Wind Waker's aesthetic. And that's definitely something that I really respect. And that's something that when we bring in locations from other games, I always want it to feel new and to feel authentic within this version of the world, right? Within this timeline-wise, right? We're making Hyrule as it could have existed right before the Great Flood, right? It's a prosperous land that is doomed to fail, right? And so I like having all these extra settlements. I like having this kind of fully fleshed out world with all of this, right, with all of this depth built into it, right? With all of these kind of even mini kingdoms, right? Something like Labrynna. And I think that just that adds to, right, how bustling this land was, and it makes its downfall, right, the idea of it flooding even more catastrophic, right, to see all of this land flood. That's something I appreciated about bringing in the Isle of Korodai, right, and now with Labrynna, I think that just like that only adds to it. And it's just like, I know that those Oracle games, I guess I want to talk about those for a second, because those are games that are really dear to me, that just like, I do worry that maybe there's a modern Zelda audience that like looks at those like Game Boy games and like, maybe are intimidated by the graphics and how old they are, feel like it's aged. But I don't know, like I replayed Link's Awakening a couple of months ago with the original Game Boy Color version. Well, I guess not the original, but the Game Boy Color version. The original version was in black and white, and then they re-released the game in color. But I played the Game Boy Color version, and I was just like, I still was totally immersed. And like I don't know, like I don't think it's just nostalgia, right? Like obviously I guess like that's probably part of it, but like I think like those games hold up, and I think they're easy to come back to. I never beat the Oracle games like as a kid, and maybe last year or the year before I like went back to those games and like beat for the first time Oracle of Ages and Seasons like as an adult, and I found it just like really rewarding, and I really enjoyed those games. And to me, I feel like, I mean, there's so many great Zelda games, and the Oracle games are like, if you're looking for some more of the quintessential Zelda, like 2D Zelda experience, if you maybe played Echoes of Wisdom and were like, okay, I like Echoes of Wisdom, but I'm craving that like traditional 2D Zelda game, then yeah, I recommend like, Link's Awakening and its remakes. I recommend the Oracle games, right? Like going back to that, of course, if you haven't played A Link to the Past, I recommend that. And even like there's others, right, that are maybe a little more experimental, but I recommend like Four Swords Adventures, right? Of course, I recommend Phantom Hourglass. And like those are games that like are really dear to me, that like I think are also successful 2D Zelda games. I think I forgot to mention Minish Cap. Like that's another great, like, if you're looking for a classic 2D Zelda experience, like Minish Cap is definitely one of the quintessential 2D Zelda games. But yeah, just all this to say is just like I worry that maybe the Oracle games get kind of lost in the shuffle in the zeitgeist. And I don't know, like I would love for them to be like remade in like the Link's Awakening like Switch remake art style, if that's something that would open it up to a new audience. But yeah, just like I hope that a lot of people have been maybe returning to them now that they've been on the Switch Online service. Because yeah, like I think those games are really well done. They're really creative. They have these completely new maps and exist in a new part of the world. And so I don't know, just like all this to say is just like, you know, Labrynna means something to me too. And I'm so thankful to DrH3mp to be able to reinterpret it within the art style of the Wind Waker. I think that they totally are like, I think they totally get the art style of the Wind Waker and its modeling conventions. I think it fits super well with the work I've already done, the work of the original modelers, and it's just like I always enjoy being able to celebrate the accomplishments of a new collaborator. But I'm not going to take up too much of y'all's time. Just I wanted to just like point out just like this new contribution, highlight a contributor and their work and celebrate it. And so just comment down below what y'all think. Comment down below what locations y'all want to see worked on next in the project. All of your suggestions are super meaningful, and they help decide what we work on next. But without further ado, I'll let y'all go. Now, if you're looking for other ways to support me, as always, you can support me as a creator by becoming a member on Patreon. There you'll get access to all kinds of exclusive behind-the-scenes content like in-progress outlines, scripts, storyboards, rough cuts, and even soundtracks for my newest films. By becoming a member, you'll also be thanked in the credits for any film I finish during your membership. You can also support me by streaming my music. I compose all of the scores for my own short films, and you can listen to those soundtracks on Spotify, Apple Music, or wherever you listen to music. Just look up Joe Kendrick. That's JoeKendrick. Y'all have a wonderful day, and without further ado, I'll let you go.